Hello. This may not seem like the usual type of video I make, but fun fact, about almost 2 years ago now, I made small video essays like this before, but for a few reasons I just kinda stopped. My main issue was trying to find things to talk about that would be remotely interesting, at least to me. But recently though, I played through the modern Tomb Raider trilogy, and there was something I noticed that the first game made a seemingly big deal out of, only to completely exclude and refuse to acknowledge in the latter two games. The first game in the series, simply called Tomb Raider 2013, takes place on the fictional island of Yamatai, with the main plot of the game centering around the legend of the Sun Queen Himiko. For reasons unknown, there is a storm that destroys anything and everything near Yamatai, which ends up destroying the ship Lara and company were on, which is how they end up deserted on Yamatai. As the game progresses, Lara ultimately has two goals: escape the island and rescue her best friend Sam, who is kidnapped by the main baddie because he wants to use her to resurrect Himiko or something. Tomb Raider 2013 really emphasizes the friendship between Lara and Sam. The game wants you to know really bad just how much these two mean to each other, and I'll tell you right now, I couldn't tell you good writing from bad. One of my favorite mangas of all time is Citrus, so take my words with a grain of salt, but I think the game does a pretty good job at showing you the relationship between Lara and Sam. Sam is there for Lara when Roth dies, and she's there for her when Alex dies. Meanwhile, Reyes just denies curses the whole time while simultaneously calling Lara one.
Seems anyone caught with you has a pretty low survival rate.
Reyes!
Better keep your distance then.
And Jonah's there too. He's a good supporting character, but he mostly stays in the background until the final third, when the only side characters that are still with Lara are him and Reyes. Sam essentially becomes Lara's whole motivation by the end of the game, with the two refusing to even leave the island without each other. And thank Christ this isn't a modern Naughty Dog game, otherwise Sam probably would have been killed in a 2-second cutscene for character motivation. Thankfully though, we get the Chad happy ending with the two going home together with Jonah and Reyes. So, we get an entire game spent on developing the relationship between two characters, and we get to see firsthand just how much these two care for each other. So what do the next following two games do? Well, if you're Crystal Dynamics, you'll nearly erase Sam from existence and instead replace her with Jonah, a character who had like 10 lines in the whole of 2013. Which is slightly hyperbolic, but I'm pretty confident that either him or the ship Captain Grimm had the least amount of dialogue out of the entirety of the Endurance crew. As I played these three games, and the more I sat on it, I wondered why it wasn't Sam who accompanied Lara in both Rise and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Now, don't get me wrong, Jonah is a perfectly fine character. The games are not held back by his existence, but I think these games would have been even better if it was Sam. I feel like Lara and Sam complement each other very well. Sam is more carefree and extroverted, while Lara is very serious and slightly more introverted. I don't really know what Jonah is. He's either very chill or he's yelling at Lara with not much in between. I also ship the hell out of these two. That's not really relevant, I just wanted to let you know. I mean, have you seen these two? They're holding hands at every opportunity. I see you staring at Lara's ass, Lara. You ain't slick. Perhaps it's people like me that Sam never made it into the other games. I never thought of that. Maybe they didn't want Sam to be the damsel in distress every game, since Lara's allies always end up in danger one way or another. It doesn't even have to be Sam or Jonah either though. Both could have been part of the series, but it really feels like the series wanted you to forget about Sam. In fact, it feels like the series is trying to remove itself from 2013 as much as possible. There are very few references to the first game and even fewer to Sam. The only thing I could find related to her are these two pictures of her at the beginning of Rise. I could be missing something else, but from what I found, this is it. Not even something as simple as a name drop, like with Roth in Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Got a birthday call from Sam this year. When's the last time you spoke to her?
She called when we were in Bali. I've been meaning to get back to her.
I get the first game has little relevance to the Trinity plotline, with there being a single reference to them in 2013.
Command to operative. Stop. Trinity is concerned. Stop.
But what the hell does any of the Mayan stuff in Shadow have to do with the Christian sect either? Rise is really the only game Trinity should have been in, but that isn't the point right now. At least something as simple as a letter in the Blood Ties DLC from Sam where she's like, "Hey, Lara, how have you been? What adventures have you been on recently? Also, are you still sick?" I have a crackpot theory as to why Sam may have been absent from the two games. And perhaps I'm just too brain-rotted and touch-starved, but just hear me out. Maybe Crystal Dynamics really did want to make Sam and Lara a couple like I've been raving about, but Lara is such an iconic video game character that I think they were too afraid to commit to something like that, like a huge character change, and it most likely would have pissed off everybody who jorked their peanuts to her when they were 12. Not saying I didn't do it, I just wouldn't be pissed about it. So to fix their mistake, quote unquote, they just distanced themselves from Sam as much as possible until she practically didn't exist anymore. Now, a new Tomb Raider game is confirmed to be in the works, and it's currently unknown if it's connected to the modern trilogy, so the chances of seeing Lara together with her girlfriend Sam again is very, very low. But it's not zero. Anyway, that's all I really got. I was just looking for all this time for something interesting to talk about, and this caught my attention, and as you could tell, I'm very passionate about it, so I just wanted to see what other people think. I want to get back into making videos like this. I very much like it. I'm just not sure how cut out for it I am. That being said, I'm still going to continue to do it. I just don't know exactly where I'm going to take these types of videos. I'll probably just only make them once I find something interesting to talk about. Otherwise, I'll probably just continue to make funny videos with me and my friends.